Namaste. What is Nada Yoga? Could Nada Yoga be a substitute for meditation? Let's find out. My name is Sumangala and I'm from Yoga Vidya in Germany. And we have Ram, an expert in Nada Yoga, with us here at Yoga Vidya today. Namaste, Ram, and a very hearty welcome to Yoga Vidya. It's so good to see you after 2 years.
Yes, thank you very much, Sumangala. Very great to be here. I've been here last time, I think, in September 2019. So it's great to be back in the wonderful community of Yoga Vidya. Thank you very much for having me here.
You're most welcome, Ram. Ram, among many of your specialities, one of them is Nada Yoga. Could you tell us what exactly is Nada Yoga?
Absolutely. Chaitanyam sarvabhutanam vivrutam jagadatmana nada brahma tadanandam advitiyam upasmahe. This is one of the poems or shlokas from ancient texts which very effectively summarizes what Nada Yoga is about. Nada Yoga as a spiritual discipline is rooted into Vedanta. The Vedic literature, especially the Upanishadic literature of the Vedas, the Upanishadic portion of the Vedas teaches that there was a state where there was only Parabrahman, meaning there was no manifest creation. There was neither space, neither planets, nor galaxies, star constellations, nothing existed at all. That state is in a way very difficult for us to imagine. That is why it is called Achintya, meaning inconceivable. But there was no manifest creation except Parabrahman, the supreme divine consciousness. And the Upanishads in a figurative and flowery way describe that a sacred vibration arose in the Parabrahman. Ekoham bahushyama, meaning I am only one. I want to become many. So this sacred vibration that arose in the Parabrahman is known as Nada Brahman. So Nada means that sacred, first ever sacred universal vibration. Once again, this is a flowery human way of describing it because there can be no thoughts or vibrations in the Parabrahman, strictly speaking. So anyway, when this vibration arose in the Nada Brahman, so that is when the manifestation of the whole creation began. So the shloka describes the same thing. Chaitanyam sarvabhutanam vivrutam jagadatmana. Vivrutam jagadatmana means it is the Nada Brahman which brought this entire universe into existence out of its own self. So in other words, this entire universe is permeated by a sacred vibration. Okay? Now, normally when we use the word vibration, we tend to associate it with sound. But in this context, we have to be careful to understand that vibration is not limited only to sound. There is so many things in the universe. There is radiation, there is light, there is sound, there is so many things. So that entire vibration, that entire universe is permeated as an undercurrent by a universal vibration. Now from a sound viewpoint, we summarize this as Om. Okay? So Om is Nada Brahman. So this Om is what brought this entire creation out of itself. And when it comes to living beings like ourselves, Chaitanyam Sarvabhutanam. So this Nada Brahman manifests within all of us, within all living beings as Chaitanyam, meaning consciousness, pure consciousness, or the vibration of life. Okay? Vivrutam Jagadatmana Nada Brahma Tadanandam. So the nature of this Nada, of this sacred universal vibration is blissful. So it's pure bliss, not happiness, not joy, but rather pure bliss. Such a Nada Brahma Tadanandam Advitiyam Upasmahe. Advitiyam means one without a second. Upasmahe, we are trying to connect with that Nada Brahman. So Nada Yoga is basically the form of yoga which effectively combines the teachings of Vedanta, yoga and other spiritual disciplines with the wonderful art of music. Okay? And the purpose of Nada Yoga is to uplift our individual consciousness to that of universal consciousness. So Nada Yoga in simple terms is a wonderful blend, a wonderful mixture of the science of yoga as well as the art of music.
Speaking of the art of music, you play the sitar and you play a certain raga. Now, how would you associate these ragas with what you just described previously? And could you just elaborate on why particular ragas are played in Nada Yoga?
I will elaborate it from the top, a little bit higher level than ragas. So the idea is that this sacred vibration, which we call as nada, that is present all around us in the universe, when it comes to human experience, we sense this with our jnanendriyas, with our senses. So the form of vibration which we can sense with our skin, we call it as touch. Similarly, the vibration which we can sense with our eyes, we call it as light or color. The vibration we can sense with our nose is smell, and the vibration which we can sense with our ears is sound. So the idea is, for a common person, these 5 things are very different. Touch is different, taste is different, smell is different, and listening to sound is different, and color or light is different. But actually, within the layers of consciousness we have, there is a place, there is a plane of consciousness where all these 5 things come together. This is known as Gandharva, plane of consciousness. So that is where we experience the full potential of the nada, the sacred vibration that permeates the entire universe. However, from there, as I said, it becomes these 5 different forms of vibration, each of which we sense with a different jnanendriya, different sense perception we have. Now, let us focus for now on sound form of vibration. Sound form of vibration can be tonal, okay, which means it is a mantra, or it can be musical, which is known as swara. So, Nada Yoga includes both mantra as well as music. This is a very important thing to understand. Nada Yoga is not just about music, as many people seem to think. Mantras are also a part of Nada Yoga. In other words, wherever sound form of vibration is used, that becomes part of Nada Yoga. I mean, in fact, if you expand it, even light, okay, shape, all of these become at the end of the day part of Nada Yoga. So now focusing, so mantra and music, okay, coming a little bit narrowing the scope down to sound form of vibration. Within that also, if we come to music, ancient rishis of India, they have organized musical forms of expression into what are known as raga. Okay? Ranjayati iti ragaha. This is the definition of the word raga in this musical context, meaning that which colors the mind is a raga. Meaning what? A raga is a particular recipe of sounds, a particular formulation of musical sounds in such a way that it has specific psychosomatic impact on us. So this is how ragas in a manner of speech transcend the definitions of major scale, minor scale, and so on. So the idea is that the yogis, ancient rishis of India, ancient Nada yogis of India have received extraordinary wisdom about combinations of which musical tones have particular energetic impact on us. Those things they have organized into families of ragas. So in ancient times, actually, ragas used to be in families. In modern music, this is a little bit difficult to see these days. It is slowly disappearing. But traditionally, there were families of ragas organized. So there is male ragas, there is female ragas, there is children ragas, there is son raga, daughter raga, like this. Ragas used to be in families, clusters. This is all resembling the structure of the universe. In the universe also, when we are created, beings are created, the souls are created in clusters. So the same clusters of families continue in this earth, in this planet. So same way, ragas were also organized into clusters like that by ancient rishis. So the idea is that raga is a particular form of melody that has specific psychosomatic healing impact on us. So it goes beyond the definition of a scale or major scale, minor scale, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Is it always necessary to have an instrument with strings for Nada Yoga? I mean, can one use the harmonium, for example?
For Nada Yoga, there is no rule that it has to be through an instrument. Even with vocal singing, we can practice Nada Yoga. In fact, vocal, our human voice is considered as the best musical instrument because it is made by God. Rest of the musical instruments we make ourselves. They are created by human beings. But so the point to note is that Nada Yoga can be practiced with any musical instrument, including our vocal cords. We can be singing, and that is always considered as the best musical instrument. And any kind of musical instrument, whether it is a stringed instrument, wind blown instrument, plucked instrument, doesn't matter. We can practice Nada Yoga through any kind of musical instrument. But the important thing is the ability to present ragas. That is the critical thing, because again, as I mentioned earlier, ancient rishis of India have given us specific formulations of sound, musical sounds, which are known as ragas. As long as we can express a raga, any musical instrument, including voice, can be used for the purpose of practicing Nada Yoga.
Oh, that's good news.
Yes.
Yeah, my next question would be then, we talk about chakra alignment. Yeah, what exactly is meant by chakra alignment, and how does Nada Yoga help us to, align our chakras, so to say?
Chakras, as you are aware, are energy centers, subtle energy centers that exist within our pranamaya kosha in terms of yogic terminology. So, each chakra has a particular vibrational frequency that is tied to our breath cycle. So, one full inhalation, one full exhalation. This is considered as one breath cycle. And obviously, this the time length of this breath cycle changes from person to person. So, Nada Yoga teaches us a lot about chakras and the subtle vibrations of the chakras and the energies within them, all of these things. So, many ancient musical texts such as Sangeeta Ratnakara, they give a lot of information about all of this sacred wisdom that I am sharing with you. So, if we take root chakra, for example, root chakra vibrates 600 times per breath cycle. Again, this is not measured in terms of seconds or minutes or hours, because those are created by human beings. Okay? Universe measures time in a different way than we human beings do. So, breath cycle is the critical thing here. Per breath cycle, the root chakra, for example, vibrates or supposed to vibrate 600 times. Now, in modern times, for various reasons such as stress and pollution, etc., we don't breathe to the fullest capacity of our lungs. So, our breath cycles are shorter and shorter and shorter. This obviously brings in a little bit of disharmony with the vibrational frequency of each chakra. Then that is the case when we say that chakras are out of alignment. I personally recommend using chakra cleansing, which is chakra shodhana rather than chakra alignment. But as long as people understand the concept, which words you use is a little bit secondary. So, whether it is chakra cleansing, chakra alignment, whatever it is, the idea is to make sure that every chakra has the natural frequency, natural vibrational frequency that it is supposed to have. That is made possible in Nada Yoga tradition by proper application of music, musical tones and raga.
I see. Does that call for a kind of discipline with respect to how you live, lifestyles, what kind of food you eat, exercise?
Yoga is a lifestyle as it was envisaged by the ancient rishis of India. So, when we say lifestyle, all of these elements come into picture, all of these elements come into the lifestyle. Because what is our lifestyle? Lifestyle consists of many elements. What food do we eat? How do we prepare that food? What time do we consume? How much do we consume? Similarly, how do we dress? How do we speak? Right? All of these things are part of lifestyle. So, yoga is a wonderful science of lifestyle, which gives us excellent recommendations how to lead our life in a healthy and optimal fashion. So, yoga teaches us what kind of food we should consume. Similarly, how do we design the dwellings that we are in? Okay, so these are all different parts of yoga. So, obviously, Nada Yoga being one of the paths of yoga, it also has all of these things in its fold. So Nada yogis also have to basically follow the lifestyle of yoga, yogic lifestyle, very sattvic lifestyle in terms of the food that they consume or the manner in which they conduct, the manner in which they speak, and all of these things. That is essential for any path of yoga, any and every path of yoga. So especially this is important for Nada yogis because in a manner of speech, you cannot hide anything in front of music. The music brings out everybody's essence in a naked fashion. There is no masking in front of music. Therefore, the Nada yogi has to be pure inside for his music to work, for the Nada yoga form of healing to work. Therefore, self-purity is always very, very important for every Nada yogi, whether it is through food choices, whether it is other forms of lifestyle factors. Self-purity is extremely important in any form of yoga, including Nada yoga.
Yeah, my next question would be then, for people who are not so musically inclined, would it be just enough to listen to a Nada yogi playing Nada music in order to get the same benefits that he himself or herself gets through being into Nada yoga?
Absolutely, because Shravana, which is the act of listening to something with lot of attention, concentration, in a meditative spirit, okay, is very, very effective, is equally effective as the person who is practicing it or who is expressing it. So, Patana, Shravana, both of them are equally effective when they are done with devotion, concentration, and ekagrata, one-pointedness of the mind, and so on. So one doesn't have to be a musician to practice Nada yoga or benefit from Nada yoga style of music or healing. Even if one listens to Nada yoga attentively, one will definitely receive a lot of benefits. I personally receive many comments, testimonials, etc. from many people who listen to my CDs or my music, live Nada yoga sessions, etc. And they report a lot of healing that has happened within them. Sometimes some people report that certain symptoms of physical illnesses that they had were mitigated because of listening to my music regularly. Now, somebody from Toronto in Canada wrote to me that they were trying to raise this plant known as tulasi, which usually grows only in tropical in countries like India. They were trying to raise it in Canada, and my music has helped that plants also to grow.
Oh, wow.
Because they were playing the music continuously. So like this, I get many personal messages from many people across the world of the benefits of listening to music that I have recorded in Nada yoga style of presentation. So definitely, one doesn't have to be a musician to practice and benefit from Nada yoga. One can listen to music that was presented in Nada yoga style and can equally benefit.
Oh, that sounds very uplifting, Ram. Yeah, and then I should go and buy the CD. I think it's available in the shop here at Yoga Vidya.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have many CDs here that you have produced?
I have around 22 CDs in 3 different languages. Many of them are about Nada yoga. Some of them are about mantra chanting. As I mentioned, mantras are part of Nada yoga too. So all those
So should we buy all the 22 CDs?
I would highly recommend that.
Yeah. But we could start with one, right? Yeah. Okay. So Ram, how did you come to practice Nada yoga as such? Could you tell us a little bit about your background?
I started learning music when I was a teenager. I think when I was 14. Sitar was my introduction into Indian classical music, and I studied sitar for 7 years in India with a guru, Pandit Atmaramji. He's in the heavenly abode now. Then eventually I moved to Canada as life progressed. Then at that time I learned music for another 7 years from Professor Shambhu Dasji. He is one of the senior most disciples of Pandit Ravi Shankar, who is a very well-known sitar player. And then, so these two great teachers strengthened my musical knowledge and laid a great foundation. And eventually, when I met my spiritual guru, Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji, that's like my entrance into proper Nada Yoga. So he can be considered as the father of Nada Yoga in modern times. Back in the 70s, he is the one who created this term, healing for music for healing and meditation. And he actually explored the connection between astrology, nakshatras, Vedic astrology is what I'm referring to here, and the ragas and different forms of life, including connection between ragas and plants, ragas and semi-precious stones, gemstones. So like this, he has done a very vast research in this whole area. And as a recognition of all of that, he has even been awarded an honorary doctorate by one of the most prestigious universities in South India. So he is my guru in Nada Yoga. I received a lot of this wisdom by listening to him and attending his musical concerts and understanding the concept of how vast and how deep Nada Yoga is. Many people think Nada Yoga is a practice of classical music. Yes, that is definitely the foundation, but Nada Yoga is a little bit wider than music, in the sense that Nada Yoga entails and involves understanding the relationship between music and chakras, music and nakshatras, what we call as nakshatras in Vedic astrology, or rashis for that matter. And also
zodiac signs, as you would say in English then.
Correct. Yeah. Zodiac signs and nakshatras, and musical tones themselves, planetary energies, navagrahas, and how to combine all of these things into one healing science and art. That is Nada Yoga.
You talked about healing. Now, would you calibrate the instrument differently for different people, depending on what kind of healing they need? Or is it, as we say, one size fits all?
That's a very, very good question. Musical tuning can be a technical topic. I don't want to go too much into the technicalities of it, but I'll try to explain here. In Western music, Western classical as well as modern forms of music such as pop, rock, etc., they tend to tune to a particular frequency, 440 hertz. Okay, so there universally every musical instrument, singer, all of them tune their instruments to that. Now, if you look at classical music of India traditionally, we don't do that. There was no system of measuring the physical characteristics of sound, such as the hertz and so on, and tuning it to them. In Indian music, when we begin to learn, we are taught to match our voice to something known as tanpura, which is a string instrument. So basically what we do, we match tanpura and our voice. And this has no calibration, or rather, calibration in this case is highly individualistic. And there is a solid yogic reason behind this system that ancient yogis have adopted. So ancient yogis did not want to standardize musical tuning. Okay, they did not do that. Why? Because if we look deeply into our energetic system, all the sound that we make, they are rooted in the Mooladhara or the root chakra. So my tone, my voice, for example, is like this. This is defined by my root chakra. There may be someone else, a male, right? A male human being. His voice will be different. Why? That is connected to his root chakra. So even though both of us are male, my tone is different, his tone is different. Similarly, female too. Everybody's tone is very unique. Why? Because it is connected to their root chakra. So the idea is that in Indian music, whatever is my natural frequency, so this is my natural voice. So sa, this is where I sing. Is it 440 hertz, 420 hertz, 432 hertz? Nobody really pays attention to that. That's not important. Whatever is my natural tone, that's where I am singing. My natural voice is not manipulated in any way, not made to match a certain vibrational frequency in terms of physical measurement, hertz and so on in any way. Then this perfectly corresponds to my root chakra. Then on top of that, I will build sa, re, ga, ma. When you sing like that, then each one of those tones corresponds to each one of my own chakras. And because at the end of the day, chakras exist in all living beings. Even though my voice is tuned, I am singing at my root chakra frequency, it does touch all beings and heals them and impacts them. On the other hand, in the West, they have a different system of making sure that everybody is standardized at 440 hertz and stuff like that. And there are a lot of conspiracy theories, if I may say so, behind this 440 frequency. Some people say, oh, that is not a good frequency. They used to use 432 or some other number like that, and all these things exist in the Western music. In Eastern music, in Indian music, such a concept does not exist. So now coming to the question of whether I standardize this or not, it depends on the setting in which I am presenting Nada Yoga. So if I am presenting it in a one-on-one healing session, then generally I tune it to my own voice, okay, and then I present it, and I build all the musical tones based on the root chakra sound of the root vibration of corresponding to root chakra. On the other hand, if I am collaborating with other musicians, especially Western musicians, then of course I have to respect their system. So I also tune my sitar in order to be in harmony with other musical instruments or singers. Otherwise, the whole music goes awkward. So I do both, in other words. So if I am playing on my own as a solo performer or along with other Indian musical instrumentalists, then the tuning is different than if I am playing or performing or presenting with Western musicians or musical instruments.
Ram, is it always necessary to have a guru to learn Nada Yoga, or can one be self-taught?
See, the question of a guru is not just about Nada Yoga. It applies to entire yogic field. The idea is that, does one need a guru? Well, the hardcore answer is no. Okay, so in fact, every evolved guru knows this. So they always make sure that their students become independent of them. Gurus are not there to make students depend on them all the time. That is not a genuine guru. Every genuine guru makes sure that students are able to stand on their own feet. So strictly speaking, if you push it to the corner, do we need a guru? No, we don't need a guru. But a guru can bring a lot of light into our life. Okay? So in a manner of speech, the divine is our guru. Okay? Guru means there is a beautiful text called Guru Gita. Gukaras chandhakarastu rukaras tannirodhakaha andhakara vinashitvat gururityabhidhiyate. Meaning what? A guru, gukaras chandhakarastu. Gu, the first sound, the first syllable gu stands for darkness. Rukara, the sound of ru, stands for destruction of the darkness. So because the guru destroys the darkness of ignorance within us, such a person is called guru. Guru is light. Guru is not a personality. Lot of times we think guru is a person or a personality, but the reality is guru is light. Same divine light shines in different persons or personalities at different points of time. So those who see that will see the guru beyond the person or the personality and recognize that it is the divine light which is coming to them in this particular physical form to teach them, to help them and uplift them and guide them. So in that sense, guru is inevitable. We all need guru. Everybody needs guru. So the idea is that we always receive something from fellow human beings. Okay? Our first guru is always our mother. Our mother teaches us every little thing, how to eat food, how to hold a fork, how to hold the cutlery. From then onwards, lot of things are taught to us by our mother. So our mother is always our first guru. Father is our second guru. Then we have gurus who teach us how to make a living. Gurus who teach us in the school different topics, etc. Okay, so like this there are many gurus. Now in spiritual tradition, the guru who gives us mantra, who leads us towards enlightenment, such a person is our true guru, and that is always a light, and we all need light. So in that sense, yes, we all need guru. We can benefit a lot by having a proper guru in our lives. Same thing with Nada Yoga also. So having a guru brings us lot of practical advantages, spiritual advantages, etc. Okay, Acharyavan hi Veda, meaning one who has an Acharya, one who has a guru only knows. This is what Veda teaches us. So when we have a guru, the guru educates us properly in terms of the music as well as astrology and the science of chakras. All of these things are combined into Nada Yoga in a very, very effective way and into an effective healing system. So for this, rather than us stumbling through these different things, not knowing where to go and what to learn, what to practice, etc., if we have a guru, then the guru can ease the path for us. Guru can guide us properly. He can prevent wastage of time, downfalls, etc., and take us into Nada Yoga and into self-realization eventually. Therefore, having a guru is always very, very important.
So talking about self-realization, would you say Nada Yoga could be a substitute for meditation or is practiced together with meditation?
Nada Yoga is neither a substitute for meditation nor practiced with meditation. Nada Yoga is meditation. It is one technique of meditation. There are many, many techniques of meditation. Nada Yoga is a very effective technique of meditation which combines or makes use of sound form of vibration. Okay? Sometimes you can meditate purely visually also without involving any sound form of meditation. So Nada Yoga is not a substitute for meditation. Nada Yoga is meditation. It is one of the techniques of meditation.
So you will be playing the sitar for us shortly.
Absolutely.
What will you be showing us? What I mean to ask is, will it be related to every chakra, or what aspect of Nada Yoga will you be performing for us?
As I mentioned earlier, Nada Yoga can be practiced with any musical instrument, including our vocal cords. But I prefer to use the sitar for the practice of Nada Yoga, for presenting Nada Yoga style of music and ragas. There is a particular reason behind it. Sitar is originated from an ancient musical instrument known as veena in India. So the veena has a lot of deeper symbolism which kind of applies to the sitar also. So when I'm going to present the sitar, music on the sitar, I like to begin by explaining the symbolism, the spiritual symbolism, the yogic message behind the structure of the instrument of sitar. And then after that, I will also explain the yogic symbolism behind certain musical techniques we use when we are playing music on the sitar. And then of course, with that, the audience hopefully will be able to enjoy the instrument more and appreciate the music and the yogic methodology that is employed in presenting the Nada Yoga style of music. And after explaining all of this, then I present maybe a raga or two on the sitar, depending on the time of the day, the astrological constellation of the day, and so on. So this is how a Nada Yoga presentation on the sitar goes.
So we at Yoga Vidya are looking forward to that session, Ram. And thank you so much for being with us, for sharing your immense and deep knowledge on the subject of Nada Yoga. We appreciate it very much. And thank you once again. Om.
Thank you very much, Sumangala, and thank you very much, Yoga Vidya.